Hey, Alvin here. Welcome back to another video. And in this video, we're going to talk about how to handle rejections, especially bad responses on your social media platforms or Facebook. I think this is pastor's worst nightmare. How do you handle them? How should you respond? So, if you need help in that, this video is for you. All right. So, basically, always remember, okay, to apply what Jesus has taught us. He teaches us everything, just that you forgot sometimes. So he says here, but I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. This is from Matthew chapter 5, verse 44. I know it's easy to read this verse, but a lot of people find it very hard to apply. All right, Jesus said here, it's easy to love those you love, but how about those that you hate? Those who are your enemies. Jesus said, go further and say, love them and pray for them. So same thing. Everyone who insults you or persecute you online, say bad things to you, you pray for them. Say, I will pray for you. Thank you for your response. All right, that's what you should be doing. Okay, and I'm going to show you how I do it as well. I'll give some examples. So, how do you show love to someone who just insulted you? How do you do that? All right, how do you do that? I'll give you some ideas. So in online evangelism, engagement attention is key. All right, online engagement means you want to engage. All right, a lot of people don't realize, right, the fact that the person spend time to type on his handphone or keyboard to respond to you takes time, and that shows that he actually want to engage with you. Okay, so that's something you need to remember. So but interesting is 90% of all this negative response, all right, or most of the time, are actually intended to get your attention. What I realized is that out of 100 comments, you definitely will get some insults and bad comments, but the intent of those is to grab your attention. And we as human beings, we tend to focus a lot on the negatives, we never focus on the positive. So, but the interesting thing is, you look in a broader sense, most of the time, right, you get more positive than negative. All right, the negatives are there because Satan planted it there to discourage you. Right, so do not be soaked into it. I mean, at the beginning when I first started doing this, I got really upset with some people. I did my best to answer the question, but the more I ask, the more frustrated I get, and the more I didn't feel like I want to do the online evangelism. And it will happen to you. That's what I'm telling you now, right now, before you start. All right, you need to do these few things that I'm going to share with you. How to be a more effective minister online. So even if you manage to answer them honestly and correctly and biblically, they honestly do not care what you respond, even though you are right. And this happened many times, I tell you. People who are atheists, antichrist, people who hate God, they ask you stupid questions, they ask you questions that prompt you to get angry, say you are a liar and all this, and you try to defend. All right, it's called apologetics. I'm not a fan of apologetics, by the way. I'm not saying it's not useful, it is, but honestly, I feel it's a waste of time. Okay, because would have rather. Why would you want to spend 1-2 hours arguing and debating with someone when you can actually impact the 90 over more people who is behind that person? Who will you choose? The person who wants Jesus or the person who doesn't or hates Jesus? If I were you, I would choose the one that uh wants Jesus. Okay, give you one very good example. If you read the Bible, when Jesus go out into his ministry, does Jesus focus his attention on the Pharisees? No, he doesn't. All right, even though they hate him, they're jealous of him, and say bad things, to ask him stupid questions. All right, but he only just answer and go. And where he spends most of his time with the people who are in need, people who need prayer, people who need encouragement, people who need teaching. That's where Jesus spent most of his ministry time with. So the same thing with you when you're doing online evangelism. Spend most of your time focus on the prayer needs, on those who responded positively, all right, and you'll be fine. Don't care about all those negative comments. All right, I'll show you how to respond as well. All right, so do remember, all right, your job is to witness. All right, it says here, but you will receive power and the Holy Spirit has come upon you, and you shall be my witnesses. All right, Jesus did not command us to convert anyone. No, he only commanded us to witness. Witness is to tell. All right, tell people about Jesus. Leave the conviction and conversion to God, not you. All right. So it is not your job to convert or convince anyone Jesus is the way. Say, no, no, you are wrong. Jesus is the way. I mean, I see some people do that. And I feel it's a waste of time. Let's move on. That person has already decided, all right, that Jesus is not the way. No matter what you say, Jesus is still not the way to him. Even you can prove to him without a shadow of doubt, if scientific proof that Jesus is the way, he will not believe, I can tell you. And you're just wasting your precious time with that person when you could have spent that time to impact 10 other Christians who need prayer, right? So focus on the one that needs more help and not those who will build a wall towards God on you. You notice when you entertain such people, you suddenly have built up bitterness, anguish with that particular negative person, which is not healthy for you spiritually. All right. So always remember to leave the conviction and conversion to God. All right. Maybe if they ask a very genuine question, you answer it fine. Right, I'll show you how to quickly answer questions as well. So you won't spend too much time. And you spend more time on the praying for those who needs it more. Okay? So my focus is always on those who are in needs. That's what Jesus does. So these are the ways to respond to in love to negative comments. Okay, this is my favorite way. All right, just respond. Thank you for your response. Very simple, right? Just say thank you for your response. All right, even though they say something negative, say you're stupid or you are a liar, Jesus is not real, just reply. Thank you for your response. So easy. All right, then he would. This is what I see sometimes. I put that, and some people are so good egoistic, will say something like, "Hey, please reply my question. Why are you not replying my question?" And I'll reply the same thing again. Thank you for your feedback. I always reply the standard clause. All right, thank you for your feedback or your response. I never bother to answer them because I know if I answer them, they'll give you another 10, 20 more questions to answer, which will never end. It really will never end, and it wastes your time. Really wastes your time, and you won't feel good also at the same time, spiritually. Okay, so let's say thank you and full stop. Okay, another strategy or way that I respond is look for ways to praise them. Look for ways to praise them. For example, some of them are very smart people. Okay, they are very smart people. I mean, those who are antichrist. All right, so you can tell them, "Oh, I know this. You're so wise, and you're able to detect this. Thank you so much for your response." You praise them, okay, and you'll be surprised what's their response. Okay, and then suddenly they'll stop commenting to you after a while. All right, so you can praise them for being smart. All right, attention to detail. Oh, thank you. This about Christian. They're liars. And so on and so forth. You know what I noticed when you talk to atheists, that what really cuts them off is you agree with what they say. Like for example, some will say, "Oh, Christians are liars. They are bullshit," and I'll say, "Yeah, you are right. It is true. They are really sometimes BS and liars, and that's why they need Jesus." All right. So you go insert Jesus that way, and then you go on talking. All right. Suddenly, by agreeing what they say, they will get cut off guard. All right, and you surprise them as well. Um. So another real common problem is some people genuinely ask a theological question on their own. Always use website articles. So sometimes people ask you like, "Is God real?" All right, please don't go and copy, go and research. Is God real? Wasting. Just to answer that, sometimes can take you like half an hour of research. So I'll show you one very useful resource. How can you quickly answer all these questions in case people do ask? All right, how are you going to answer them? I'm going to show you a resource that I use personally to answer every theological question that is on the internet. And it can be done in less than 2 minutes. All right, so you use this website called godquestions.org to answer questions on God. So what I do is this: if someone asks a question about, let's say, is it sinful to hate? Okay, so you just go to the website, search is it sinful to hate, and you definitely can find an answer there, and just copy the URL and send it to him. No need to answer anything. Okay, just show him the article, because the article will be very comprehensive and give him the answers. So you are like the Google, right? Why I do not encourage you to answer? All right, because the moment you answer the question in a comment, he will give you another two more questions. All right, or one more question. It will come up questions after questions, question after question, and then you'll be debating, which is not very healthy for ministry, for online outreach. So please don't do that. Just give them a website And I can trust, I tell you 100%, they were not even interested to look at the article. They just want to get your attention, and that's about it. But you don't give them the attention. That's the real intent. You give attention to who? Give your attention to those who need prayer. All right? Those who praise God. Give your attention to those people that need God. All right? Those people that don't need God, don't bother with them. All right? Just let them be. All right? They will always be there. Okay? So don't be frustrated over them. Right, never answer questions on your own to start any debate, which did happen to me many times at the start. I remember I answered one innocent question, then suddenly or 10 over questions. I spent almost the whole day answering questions like, wow, this is not very good for me. I should stop doing this. Okay. So you thought you are actually defending the faith in apologetics, but actually you are actually um weakening your spirit when you do that because you feel demoralized. Like, I already answered to my best ability. Why do these people not get it? The thing is that what you don't get it is that they don't care. All right, they just want their way. All right, they think they are God anyway, or they think there's no God. Then let that be. As I said, it's not your job to convert anyone. It's not your job to defend God. God can defend himself. You don't need to defend for him, okay? God can defend himself. Leave the defending to God. All right. Your job is just to witness. Let's remember that. So why I'm against debates and against apologetics sometimes online is debates will drain your time and energy, and it's not helping really anyone, and it just feeds the ego and pride. You know, when you answer a question online, what it really does, it feeds your ego. Say, I know well about the Bible. All right, I can defend the faith, and you can answer any question. It's somehow like a pride. I know some pastors will disagree with what I say, but I'm saying this because I felt that it's really a waste of time to debate over issues that should not even be debated at the first place. All right, some people debate about the Trinity. Why? Who is God? Is he real? Is he real man or what? I mean, this type of questions is just asked for the sake of asking. All right, when they don't really want to know the answer. If they really want to know the answer, ask them to meet you in person and we can talk more, but not in online comments. All right. Or you can meet out in Zoom, you can talk more about it if you really want to spend time with that person. But I feel you shouldn't invest too much time on that person. You should invest more time in people who needs Jesus, people who needs prayer, people who needs encouragement. Those are the people that I will focus more on, exactly as what Jesus does. Can you imagine? Just imagine for one time, in case you're a pastor leader, you just think for yourself. If you are Jesus today, you are in Jesus' shoe. You see a Pharisee come in and ask you ridiculous question about doctrine question. Do you see Jesus answering the Pharisee, like spend one whole day with him just to answer his questions? No, right? Jesus just respond and move on. Say, no, this is not true, move on. Right? This is exactly what you should be doing as well. So this is how the website looks like. Your best resource is go to godquestions.org to check it out. So in the next video, I'm going to show you basically how to use this website so that you yourself know how to use and how to get the answers that you need. So I'll see you in the next video.